game. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Mafia 3 is an excellent game. And woo 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 woo. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna deny that Mafia 3 was an excellent game or an excellent experience. Well, not excellent game, but it was an excellent
Just bugged out.
experience, most definitely. But there was a lot of fucking problems that it came down to me just not finishing the fucking game. In Mafia 3, you play as a black male Lincoln Clay in the black Italian mafia, fresh off of deployment in Nam to return home in a fictional rendition of New Orleans, now named New Bordeaux. Once home, you play catch up with a colorful cast of characters, each with their own very vibrant personality. In the beginning prologue, it's worth to mention that the city itself is rather put together and represents the city and time period very well, from NPCs calling you boy, nigger, and a whole bunch of other racist shit, to radio station talk shows covering various topics of society, racism, and classism. NPCs will also mention historical figures such as MLK, Malcolm X, and hell, even the presidents. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ubisoft's greatest creation, Bitch Vision! Now, this is most definitely a mixed bag of marbles. On one hand, you got a fantastic gunplay and animation coupled with excellent story elements, and on the other hand, a mess of stupid bugs that damn near break the game. Multiple times I found that the cover system makes some objects slightly larger than what they really are, and I'm not allowed to shoot people if the point of impact is too close to the actual object. Essentially, an invisible wall is there. They planned on patching it after release, so it's like now we got this another game that's coming out in 2016. Where the game, they say it's finished, they put it out for $60, and then they start patching in things that they should have had in the game. The driving is clunky as fuck in an effort to make it feel more realistic like in Mafia 2, but they just OD'd here and added a normal and driving simulation that pretty much didn't do a damn thing. And I'm sitting here hitting every fucking thing that could have been avoided had the vehicles not felt like a rolling damn ball around a flat surface. What constitutes a next gen game? Like, we just got done talking about releasing in pieces. Like, we have a few games that do that where it's like the game's partly finished.
That seems to be the trend for 2016.
Yeah, I guess that seems to be the trend, but should that be what we should be looking forward to going forward into like
Fuck no.
2017? Like, yeah, I don't know how much.
It depends on the game, because when it comes to games with low budgets and they have to prove themselves and shit to the publishers and shit, I understand that. But when it's like a game that was first released as a full fucking game, oh, let's do it episodically. Like, well, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII Remake, apparently. But
Ooh, damn.
it's fucking.
Wait, that's being released episodically?
That's what they're saying. That's what was rumored when it was first announced. But we
I
have
don't know
no.
if that's gonna work out because Hitman just
fuck
did that, and it's not really looking too well for, like, I know Hitman's not even. Is it finished yet? I don't know. I think they're on our last episode for like season 1, but if they're saying season 1, then that kind of implies season 2. This is much more of a revenge story than it is for an up-and-coming protagonist in Mafia on a hostile takeover you might have been used to in the previous titles. The story is told in this pseudo-documentary style, following up past events leading up to the end of Lincoln Clay's revenge story. You will take over the city from the main villain with your 3 lieutenants, one of which being Vito Scaletta from the previous Mafia and Mafia 2, who you will assign to districts of control after you take down and take over rackets. This game doesn't really pull its punches in terms of storytelling and social accuracy on what it's like to be black during this time in history, and I'm pretty proud of them for doing that, and that alone for a game is worth at least experiencing at some point. What you get and feel in this game is rivaled by none, and just to give you an idea, if a cop sees you, the cop sees you and is watching you, reminding you that you are still you as Lincoln Clay. The missions are more than repetitive, they get boring as fuck. You go to a district, talk to one of the best characters in the game, he sends you to 2 to 3 different quests or mission givers, you stab a couple of guys, maybe you don't, but mostly you will anyway to scare the racket leader out of hiding. Doing enough damage to their profits, you fight the racket boss in a location I'm 98% sure you're already raided because, you know, that particular place had great security the last time you visited. Stab the guy, and repeat step 1 in another location. No, seriously, by the time I saw the reviews, I already started just shooting through the damn game just to progress the story, and it became such a boring ass chore to do, I just gave up. The stores are damn near pointless to walk into. You can't do anything, and there isn't much to see. I mean, you can rob the place for some extra cash, but really, nobody's gonna be fiending to spend extra money on mostly stupidly locked guns and explosives when you can easily find them off of enemy NPCs once you drop them anyway. There isn't much to what you can do with the money. I mean, you can call in favors from the weapons wheel like a mobile banker to store cash like an ATM, or a weapons van, or a hit squad sent by Vito, but really the most useful thing to call in is to drop off a vehicle since there isn't a fast travel feature, which could have easily been a damn taxi or something. Also in combat, you can choose lethal or non-lethal takedowns like in Blacklist on Splinter Cell, The problem though is that in order to switch between either or, you gotta navigate all the way through the pause menu, and again in the sub menu, scroll down, switch it, and then execute. If that ain't doing the most, bro, I don't know what is. The cop spawning system is all the way fucked up. They either pointlessly spawn way after the fact, or in pursuit during like certain tasks or missions. They're pretty much impossible to shake, and they spawn right in front of you. Bugs in this game are rampant. I caught one enemy guy going full retard spazzing out in a circle, and then another time spawning again became an issue like pop into my most immediate position. It became a damn near lethal phenomenon. Time like everything really starts settling down with the year and all the games that's coming out, like the game will finally be where it's supposed to be. I don't know if they're ever gonna have a patch where they fix a skybox or any of the other bugs that would keep happening, but
looking. What the fuck is this?
Wow.
What is wrong with the sky?
the skybox, and what I mean by that is, man, just look up. It's all kinds of fucked up there. I think calling it foobar is a perfect statement on just how the sky functions, and it doesn't really help that the weather shifts are dramatic as fuck in execution. I swear that the day and night cycles are not well tied together on a flowchart on day cycles.
Yeah, I watched MWN's review on it, and he basically said that the story is great, and that if it wasn't for all the bugs and if it wasn't for the story, all the bugs and shit would have not made him play the game as much as he did. And even though there was nothing new with like the gameplay or nothing, it was serviceable. That's essentially what he said.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes too. So it's like, yeah, there aren't any customization options like clothing or modding out a car, which in Mafia 2 it did have that, and the collectibles are actually alright. Given the time period, people did collect them shits like Pokemon, but it just doesn't do much for me personally as a gamer with easy access to X videos. There was just no incentive besides shits and giggles, honestly.
What the hell?
Alright.
I understand if it's like $1 or some shit, but I'm not paying $2 for
fucking premium
gun
costumes for cheap
cosmetics.
items.
Like, I don't want no camo pack for $5. Fuck you, nigga.
Right. It only covers 3 guns. Like, what the fuck, nigga?
Like, and my thing is, I believe certain games could have, benefited from episodic releases like Five Nights at Freddy's. I believe that would have been much better as an episodic rather than Five Nights 1, 2.
Yeah,
3.
I think so too, as in like a storytelling element and like like Saints Row 2 to Saints Row 3. Saints Row 2 had like a lot of individual pieces that you can put onto your character as the customization options, and like, all right, I buy this t-shirt, or I can buy this underwear, then I buy these pants, I change the color on both, and like even little details on like each clothing item, then I can put on a t-shirt, a overshirt, and a jacket, like a 3-piece, all that type of shit, and you can customize and the details between all those pieces. And then when 3 came out, instead of doing that, they made it so there was presets and you can change the different colors of the details and all that shit. So it's like single player games could benefit like for that. I hope Mafia 3 does the same thing, honestly, when it comes to like when it gets patched fucking customization. If it does do that, having that option to have preset outfits and then changing like the colors would be awesome, instead of just having just a preset. All right, you buy this outfit, you buy this outfit. Like, you limit to how unique your character really is in terms of like playing the game, because it's like the more customization that you have, the more connected you're gonna feel to that game, and the more likely people are to keep that game, because it's like, all right, I can play this game in a different style, I can play this game in a different way. There's 2 different ways you can play Mafia 3. You can approach a target guns blazing, or take on a more tactical approach, which is alright, I guess. It's basic, it's there, it works, but the enemy AI are fucking oblivious. Most of the time, I didn't notice in my first session of play because I'm a paranoid motherfucker, but man. And speaking of immersion, that's another thing that Mafia 3 really needs to work on when like developing a game, because it's like they got the world down perfectly. I think it's like MWN said, it was their best asset when it came to the game. Like everything was set right with like the NPCs and everything, but there's something so empty about the rest of the world when it comes to outside of the atmosphere. There are a lot of things that this game does right, but a shitload of things that they did wrong. At launch with the hopes of adding content and patches after the fact. It's really just the mixed reviews from everyone, and unless you really, and I mean really, like the series, or don't mind any of the stuff that I just said, play it strictly for the story or veto for Mafia 2. I cannot recommend that you buy this game, just rent it. It's a fantastic rental if you narrow down your expectations in terms of gameplay and mechanics, or simple functionality for that matter. Reviews from big channels, small and in between, all say the same thing. It's a rather average ass game, but there is merit to it all. You never really experience the world in a manner or play a protagonist that isn't just another Nathan Drake or some shit. If you haven't already, just wait a bit and keep your heads up for the patch updates that are going to be coming out in this game in the future. And this game will be a lot more tolerable than it is right now to when I played it compared to its own last game in Mafia 2. And if you have and want a little extra from the game since you don't or didn't pre-order, we at T.G.C got you with a free code you can obtain yourself by making sure that you like and subscribe for more content, and stay tuned as we will announce the winner of this code giveaway. Obviously, do the same if you fucks with the channel too. This is Static with the T.G.C Entertainment. I'm out.